Welcome to Theology with a Sock Puppet, where we explore the deep issues of life with the best Bible scholar you can buy in a bag from Target. Today's topic is reconciliation, how our covenant with Christ should bring unity to people and even people groups. And now, please welcome our guest. What?
What in the world happened to your hair?
Well, you knew I was going through chemotherapy, didn't you?
Well, yeah, but, okay, let's compare. Before, after. Before, after. Before. Ah!
Oh, for crying out loud, the wig is a gag. It's a gift from one of my students.
Oh, okay. Well, what do you mean that you were on chemotherapy?
Well, we've had x-rays and CAT scans along the way to keep track, and what we've discovered is the tumor has stopped shrinking. It's not responding to chemo anymore. So I've been sent to a new doctor up at UAB, where we're going to try a new kind of a treatment.
So the chemotherapy was a total failure?
Well, no, things were happening at first, so that I knew that things were improving. I was getting better.
Wait a minute. Does this involve smells and fluids?
Well, as a matter of fact, yes it does.
Well, I'll tell you what. You don't talk about that, and I won't talk about foot fungus.
Okay, we've got a deal.
So what are you doing now?
Well, I'm going to a new doctor at UAB. By the time this video is out, I will have had my third biopsy, and my results should be ready from the pathology lab by early this week. Then, my suspicion is the doc's going to have me do a bone marrow transplant.
Wait a minute. Isn't that where they have to isolate you in a room for about a month because you have no immune system?
Well, as a matter of fact, that's what I hear.
Well, I just want you to know that I will not leave your side. You can count on me to keep you company during those long, lonely hours in your personal bubble.
I can hardly contain my joy.
I knew that would make you happy. So, on to today's topic.
Divisiveness, factions, cliques, and even racism are not new in the world. These issues existed in Jesus' day just as much as they do now. The Jews hated the Romans looked down on the Jews, the Zealots, hated the collaborators who collected taxes, and everybody near King Herod was scared they'd be the next one assassinated. The needs today are every bit as great as they were then.
Absolutely. Just look at the preachers involved in the presidential campaign this year.
What do you mean?
Well, most people have heard about Jeremiah Wright and his G.D. America statement. Just a couple of weeks ago, a white Catholic priest was guest preacher at the same church, and he was every bit as divisive and angry as the other guy. Personally, I think it comes from the vow of celibacy.
Now, wait a minute. We've got kids in here as young as 7th grade, you know.
Oh, right. You can edit that out, can't you?
Now, is that fair? I mean, I write the video, I write the script, I shoot the video, I burn the CD, and now you want me to do extensive editing on top of that? I've got cancer. What are you bringing to the mix?
My incredibly good looks.
You're a sock. You're not going to make it on the cover of GQ magazine.
I know. I was hoping for a spread in the next Target coupon book.
How about we get back on topic?
Okay. Well, here's what I'm thinking. In politics, people gain power by doing their best to create divisions. Us versus them. Trying to find someone to blame for our troubles. The problems in our world are not black versus white, Christian versus Muslim, rich versus poor, conservative versus liberal, or men versus women. The real problem is we have people who embrace greed over generosity, self-centeredness over self-sacrifice. In these terms, there's enough blame for everyone to feel ashamed.
Well, if that's the problem, what's the sock puppet theological answer?
Ironically, it comes from Louis Farrakhan. In 1989, he spoke to the Congressional Black Caucus, and he blamed Christians and people of other races for the problems in our world. But his answer He quoted from the Bible. Today's lesson from Ephesians, in fact.
You're kidding me. He said that Christianity was the problem, but the Bible is the answer?
I didn't say he made sense. I'm just telling you what he said. In fact, Paul taught about reconciliation many times in the New Testament. Consider these passages in Galatians 3 and 5.
For as many of you as were baptized into Christ have put on Christ. There is neither Jew nor Greek. There is neither slave nor free. There is no male and female, for you are all one in Christ Jesus. And if you are Christ's, then you are Abraham's offspring, heirs according to promise. And, for you were called to freedom, brothers, only do not use your freedom as an opportunity for the flesh, but through love serve one another. For the whole law is fulfilled in one word, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. But if you bite and devour one another, watch out that you are not consumed by one another.
Jesus even taught us in the Sermon on the Mount to love our enemies. It's not easy to do, but it is what God expects of us.
Now wait a minute. You're telling me reconciliation means we have to love our enemies?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
So, wait a minute. Do I have to love you too?
Well, Jesus said to love your neighbor as yourself.
This is really getting complicated.
Those medications are really doing a number on you, aren't they?
Well, yeah. Memory loss, loss of feeling in my fingers, my mouth and my tear ducts are drying up, and I have some memory loss.
How about your hearing?
What?
Why do I even bother with you?